do we unlearn this pattern of behavior? Codependency. For many adults, they enter into dating and relationships, romantic relationships, business relationships, without even finding out who they are, what they like, what they don't like, what their mission is, what their values are, what their standards. They never really identify those things before joining with other people. That's where the weakness comes in. Now, in order to unlearn the pattern of behavior of codependency, there is need for each individual to be able to spend time alone. Now, that will be difficult for some people who find it difficult to stay with themselves, to stay with their own thoughts. But remember, this channel is about those that are seeking to become the best version of themselves. So, if you are seeking to become the best version of yourself, you must create that time for yourself to spend time alone. That is not to say that you won't be in the presence of other people, but you must have alone moments. Even when you have children, create a schedule that just is just about you. Spend time maybe on the beach alone, in a private place alone by yourself. This will afford you the opportunity to revisit and reconnect back to yourself. This is the home that a lot of people have run away from. And until you return home, every other place doesn't feel homely. So you need to come back home. So that alone time affords us time to reflect on our own life, reflect on our own desires, on our own uniqueness. Number two, prayer and meditation. What has helped me greatly is all of these practices together. But I'll tell you, prayer and meditation go a long way, because what I've found out about this so-called psychological condition is that it is the energy of your being that's being latched on by others, such that you're being controlled and manipulated by them, and your energy is being used to serve their own needs. So prayer and meditation will help you to tune inwards and to focus on the source of your being, and not on other people externally. When we focus inwards, we're able to focus on the source of our being and connect with that source. And that source is able to provide us with what we need at each point in our lives. We renew our energy, empower us with courage, with faith, with hope, with love. So many things can come in from that connection with source. So prayers, meditation helped a great deal for me. And number three, you want to identify your interest and pursue it. I've shared quite a number of videos about passion and interest. Life is meant to be lived from the soul, from the heart. Any other living doesn't count. We need to live passionately. We need to be enthusiastic about our life. But we're not able to do that if we don't identify what our interests are. There's need to voice out what you want within a relationship, whatever relationship you may currently have yourself in. Make sure that you start off by expressing your needs, and the feedback you receive from the persons in your life, from those relationships, from the other partners in your life, will give you an indication of whether they truly care about you or not, or whether it's a healthy relationship or not. And then you're able to take actions accordingly. Number four, journaling has helped me a great deal to write down my thoughts, write down what is in my head rather than thinking and overthinking. Put words on paper, put the thought in your head, put it down on paper and go over it. And it's always there as a sort of memory recollection, something you can go back to and review and say, oh, last year I thought this way, 2 years back I thought this way. This is one of the things I love about Facebook memories. Some of the posts I shared as about what I was thinking at the time. I just smile and be able to look back on my memories and say, yes, this is what I've stood for. This is what I still stand for. This is what I will stand for regarding my values and my standards. Number five, some exercises called somatic therapy exercises. They help to unravel some hidden trauma within the body through movement. So certain movements of the body through deliberate and intentional will help you to identify where trauma may be stored in the body. One of the things that humans, what we do is that when trauma happens and it's not processed at the time, it gets stored within our body. and that particular place will feel hurtful, painful, or sometimes you don't even recognize that there is anything there. But until you start that movement, some kind of movement, there's quite a number of these yoga activities that can help to dislodge, to identify areas where you have trauma stored. I used to have one such stored trauma on my right thigh, and for a long time, I felt that there was a lumpy feel around that thigh. Even though I tried so many times to massage it away, to relieve that lump, to release it, it never went away until I came into this space where I was able to identify that yes, this is what is going on. This is not just a physical pain. This is more psychological than it is physical. And because that understanding and the awareness had come into myself, it wasn't long before that lumpy feel dissipated, and I felt much relief on my thigh and on my right leg altogether. So yes, releasing trauma stored into the body help to overcome codependency. Number six, affirmations help. Tell yourself that your voice is important, that what your needs are important, that you are important. When you remind yourself, affirmations are like reminders. Because sometimes we forget. Sometimes life happens to us and we forget who we are. But when you remind yourself, when you have this notification of those affirmations around you on your phone, on your desk, bathroom mirrors, on your dressing table mirror, you remind yourself, this is who I am. My voice is important. I am important. I am important. You are important in the grand scheme of things. You need to know that. If you do not know it, and if other people tell you otherwise, they rather tell you you are not important and that they are important, but you are important in the scheme of things. As a puzzle piece, you fit into the grand jigsaw puzzles of life, and it's only you that can fit in that place, no one else. So once you have that understanding, raise your head up high and shake off that low self-esteem and act more confidently in life. In the grand scheme of things, you are important. You are important. Do not let anyone tell you otherwise. Do not let anyone use you. You should care. Yes. Codependent people are very sensitive and caring people, but they do it to the detriment of themselves. So recognize that you have some needs. Let those other people also fulfill some of your needs. When you need their help, tell them and I need help. Be able to voice out. Then you also learn about people when you voice certain needs and they have the capacity to meet them. If they are willing to do so, you know they are caring. But if they actually neglect you and ask and be seeking for you to meet their needs, you know that they are quite selfish and that relationship isn't healthy. It's an unhealthy attachment. So you're important. No, do not let no one tell you that you aren't. Once you have this kind of information, it sets you up for confidence, self-confidence. It sets you up to heal, to unlearn. You unlearn that behavior, codependency, and you begin to heal that trauma within yourself that made that happen, that caused it in the first instance. And as you heal, you grow. You grow in confidence, you grow in your expression, in your creativity, you grow. And that's where transformation happens. You start to see yourself and say, this is how I used to be, but this is how I am now. And that's the beauty of what we do on this channel. We create the best version of ourselves. To my Nigerian and African mothers, while it's important for us to care for our children, we must learn that we are first individual before we are mothers. The identity of motherhood make us lose our, our individuality and we get lost in motherhood. That is not the healthy dynamic of life. And we should return back. That's not to say that you're selfish. It is to say that you understand your role and the role of other people. Are you able to play your part without neglecting your needs? You're able to play your part effectively without neglecting your needs. If you're able to come into that form of independence, life will be more effective and happier. longevity will be added with that. Where there is peace, you have peace of mind, you have your joy. So while I remember my mom fondly for her great self-sacrifice, um, I recognize that it was not a healthy way of being. And so I am able to make that adjustment within my own life. I'm also able to pass on this information to my children, both the male children and the female children, about healthy, having a healthy relationship with self first and having a healthy relationship with others. Being first independent and then having interdependent relationship that is not codependent, that is healthy. I hope you find this video useful. I hope it helps you to unravel some certain uh, part of yourself that you may not be aware of. This is the essence of what we do on this channel. I provide you tips that will help you to identify certain dynamic into your life that may need changing so that that best version of yourself, that creative version of yourself can have the opportunity to be revealed to the world, can have that opportunity to comfort, to be birthed, and you can grow. I thank you so much for watching and for coming by here. Do like the video, subscribe if you have not yet subscribed, and share with some of your friends. I'll see you in the very next one.